Do you know who you were in a past life? Do you know what your past life gifts are? Do you know how we can use those past life gifts for our own soul growth, to break apart patterns that might keep us stuck, and also to understand the high road of our soul gifts, which is where we can use these soul gifts to grow into what our soul wants us to evolve into this lifetime, as opposed to low vibration, which is often repeating the same pattern, which is from a school we've already graduated in. Well, today we are doing a deep dive into your past life history. We're gonna learn how to uncover your gifts, how that helps us to break apart different patterns, how we can use that intentionally with our intuition, and even how to start to access some of our soul memories so we can start to have a felt experience with these past lifetimes. And I am so excited because past lives are so much fun. But let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Sonia. I'm a 4th generation intuitive. Welcome to my channel. I am so happy that you're here. And today we're doing the deep dive into past lives. So first and foremost, your past lives are part of your soul history. Now, your soul is what we have from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. And this is what we are here in our human experiences to learn. We often learn these lessons through our relationships. Often it's like why we can have big pain points in our day-to-day lives and how we relate to the world around us. When we can understand karmically, and karma comes from the word lesson. You can check out my last video on karma a few weeks ago. Karma is what's our lesson? What are we here to grow? What are we here to learn? And when we can start to uncover our past life gifts, first we can move into ownership. You're like, yo, I graduated from school. This is what I excel at. And this is where I can use intentionally in this lifetime to help support my growth and flourishment. And so first, call to mind. Have you ever had a past life inkling? We can be aware of some of our past life memory of sometimes it's places that really resonate with us, people that feel incredibly familiar, maybe even activities, patterns, things that you really excel at or are really naturally gifted at. This is a window into your past life history. I remember for myself, one of the first times that I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I've totally had a past life here, was when I was in 2nd grade in French school and we were studying Pompeii. As soon as the history books opened, everything in me just felt, I have been here before. I know this place. This feels familiar. And of course, I was blessed enough to grow up into a family. I was like, I had a past life in Pompeii. My family was like, absolutely. So first, as you just start to notice what you're drawn towards, and especially if it's inexplicable. I have a client who just fell in love with medieval texts and history. Just like, I don't know why I'm so interested. I thought, has it ever occurred to you that maybe you spent a lot of lifetimes in a monastery studying these texts? And her whole, totally, that makes sense. So our first thing is start to just pay attention. Where do you naturally gravitate towards? What pulls at you? And don't go to the intellect that's, oh, blah, 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 but to our heart space to see what resonates. You know, we came in as souls. And as I said, this is our history books for all the different things that we need to learn. So first take a moment and just even start to connect with your own heart, your spirit, your intuition, and be curious, which is portal for intuitive listening, and just say, what are the things that I love? What are the things that really make me come alive? What are the things that I am incredibly good at? For example, if you are somebody who really loves to take care of people in very grounded ways, maybe you're one who likes to tuck them in, who likes to feed them who likes to feed them food, who likes to help them with different remedies, and that's a way that you care for and that you're really, really good at. Maybe you've had a past life as a nurse or a caregiver, or maybe a nurturer in one way or another. See how that resonates. Maybe you are somebody who came in who has an incredible drive and ambition, a sense of adventure, that always wants to topple new mountaintops. That could be your past life history as an adventurer, as somebody who really loves to explore new fertile ground. See what repeats as patterns in your life. We can often see patterns because patterns we gravitate towards because there's something there in our past life history that we didn't close a loop. So we come into this lifetime to try and sort it out. And for example, just as I was saying, if you came in with a past life as a real nurturer, caregiver in a lot of really, really grounded ways, you might find yourself gravitating towards that all the time in your day-to-day life. You might really excel at that, but there might be a part that says, I feel like I've done this before and I'm kind of getting sick of it. That's our low road. That's where we can start to see resentment, where we are in a habit, instead of where we can say, okay, I can pull these gifts of nurturing for others, but in this lifetime, if I'm thinking about I nurtured others, in this lifetime, part of my soul growth is to start to nurture myself and trust other people's spirit. You can start to see these two different energies. Also, if you're interested in what your past life history is, you can definitely go to my website, soniatully.com, or check out the description box below. I do intuitive past life email readings that will give you not only a glimpse into your whole soul's history, but also who you were in different lifetimes and give you some of that insight and clarity. So second, when we are paying attention to different past life patterns, often it is where we can get stuck. I can think of a client of mine who is very tied to her family. She's had a lot of different family trouble. She's really dutiful. She's stayed home, and we were talking and mentoring, and she was like, Sonia, I'm getting really sick of this. And just in starting to pay attention that it was a past life memory of having to be incredibly dutiful, of having to take care. It was something that she mastered, and that in this lifetime, instead of having to be responsible for her family, she could be responsible to her family by starting to establish some good boundaries, by starting to individuate, by picking a different career, not having to be there at the beck and call of what was ever going on, which helped her in her own soul growth. Instead of following back into the old pattern of having to take care of everyone, have to be dutiful and responsible, that gave away her power and left her stuck in an old pattern. Instead, she could pull the values from that. I love my family. They are so important, they are wonderful, but instead I'm going to apply this towards my own interdependence and be responsible to instead of responsible for. So just as I said, first, start to notice where patterns in your life and especially in your relationships keep coming again and again and again. Now first, look at what is the gift. What's the beauty of that? If you're, for example, if you're a really good nurturer, if you're a really good adventurer, if you're really good in your artistry, this is part of your soul gifts. Take that in. These are things that I came in with. I'm really good at creating beauty. That's a past life soul gift. I'm really good at writing and communication, past life soul gift. I'm really good at healing and helping people, past life soul gift. Right? And once we start to incarnate, this is who I know. This is what I know about myself to be true. These are my gifts. I don't need anyone to tell me so. Say them out loud. When you start to say and name your gifts, you claim them. When we can bring them into awareness and to consciousness, this is where we can start to use them intentionally. Say, okay, I love, part of my gift that I came with is, let's say I'm somebody who really creates beauty. I love to beautify spaces, and that's a way that I can share part of my soul gifts, my past life soul gifts in this lifetime in the highest good. Now, again, where we are really looking at too is if you want to start to access your own past lives, you want to start. So first, be open. Set yourself into an open state of mind. 2, set up a meditative space. Start to even center your heart, hand on your belly. Bring your attention inward and even imagine that you're at a movie theater and a screen flickers on, and all of a sudden you can start to see the video kind of come into focus. Maybe it's kind of blurry or grainy. Now, spirit doesn't speak English, so this might be a word, a color, a feeling, don't judge it. And even through that place of our mind's eye, imagine that lens just starting to sharpen into focus, starting to bring in some of these sense memories from your different past lives. Now, be patient if it doesn't come right away, but this is also where we can ask our intuition, our spirit, and our guides and our angels for help. And most importantly, don't judge. Just like a muscle, the more that you can start to practice this awareness, the more that you can start to access your own soul memories. And this is a really powerful way that you can also do right before bed. And a lot of times too, because in bed, while we dream, it can be a powerful portal to our past lives, because our conscious mind, the part that's kind of our little awareness to the day, quiets as we start to get into our subconscious, which roots into all of our past life memories. So here are just some of the tools that I have in checking and connecting to your own soul history. So first and foremost, look at where you excel. What are your gifts? What do you know to be true? Second, where are you drawn? What resonates with you? What pulls you in? What engages you? These are the clues that you follow. 2, pay attention with your gifts where they are being used. Are they in a low vibe of where you feel like you don't have any choice due to your responsibility, or in a high vibe where I bring in my ownership and mastery and I can use these intentionally as a way to share with the world? Be curious. 3, start to pay attention to your heart, your spirit, your intuition. Bring yourself into a meditative state. Open your curiosity to what were your past lives and see what starts to come in. Remember, it might not make sense or come in as a download, or you might be like, I know exactly. So you follow those clues to really not only unlock your soul history, your past life history, and we can do more if you like this video. So if you haven't, sign up for my email reading, get your own past life history, email history. It's a real absolute gift as you learn your karma and what you're here to learn and apply in this lifetime. Come to my website, soniatully.com. I'm also going to be teaching a workshop on connecting with spirit guides and really using that as a portal of healing and transformation coming up in a few weeks. So if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, I send you tools, things every single week to support you on your journey. Check out our podcast, it's all related. And most importantly, you are a gift. I'm so grateful for your time, attention, and energy, and I will see you next week. All my love, bye.